Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Richmond Review. Michael Watkins here today at City Hall in Richmond, and we are joined, as always, by Marissa Hempel, Mike Brewer, Ed McDaniel, and Rob Meinrich today with us as well. Guys, it's a busy weekend here in Richmond right now with the All-A Classic. So first, let's kind of talk about it, some of the stuff that's going on here in the town, and all the people that are here in the community as well.
Shall I start?
Go ahead.
This is one of our favorite things about Richmond that we help host, and we do it at EKU. The All-A Classic has been a mainstay for such a long time. There are a great bunch of kids that come up there, the families. We have a wonderful university that they can walk around and see and perhaps participate in the near future when they graduate from high school. Our tourism and chamber, everybody puts the best effort out for this, and it's just a great all-around live show, you know, where those kids come out and just do their very best. And we watched some great basketball yesterday. It's going on now, and look forward to, after we're here, we'll be going up there and doing our part.
Do we know what kind of economic impact it has on the city?
They've done an economic impact study. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but to Mike's point, you've got, you know, this is about the smallest schools in the state of Kentucky. This is like their state tournament. So you're bringing in 16 girls teams, 16 boys teams. They usually have large followings. We book up all our motel rooms all week. Yeah. It's a great experience for the kids, and it's a great opportunity for Richmond too, because you think about these kids coming from these small communities to EKU and getting comfortable with that campus. And I know for me, when I went away to college, it was very intimidating. Yeah. So for them to get some experience on the campus, I think it's a wonderful thing.
Well, I'm curious, how did this start? Like, how did Richmond come to be the epicenter of this?
It actually was started by Stan Steidel, who passed away this past year. He's the president and CEO of the All-A Classic and came up with the idea. It actually started in Lexington, Kentucky, and then moved to Richmond for many, many years. And I was actually in Frankfurt as the executive director of the Frankfurt Convention Center, and we hosted it up there for 3 years, and now it's back in Richmond, which is home for it, really. Yeah. So I think it's, like I say, started in Lexington, you know, Richmond, Frankfurt, and back home again. So.
Well, it's good for not only the hotels, but it's good for the restaurants and the retail stores as well, because it brings in shopping that normally we might not get from some of these people.
Absolutely. And tomorrow night, Mike's in the dunking competition.
The tickets are sold out already.
We've got a large practice all night last night, but they wouldn't let me stay on the court.
Is there a trampoline?
Yeah, a large trampoline.
Well, now you've got my interest. Are there any tickets left? Because now I might
It'll sell out now, Marissa.
I know. We shouldn't have told anybody.
Hey, look, I'll send you one.
Okay, thank you.
Just as soon as I do the first.
Is it courtside?
Can we go Facebook Live? That's what we got to do. The viewers and everything will be pretty nice for that. But, you know, we were talking before the show about this commission and everything that's gone on with it, and it seems like it's been a lot of stuff that's gotten done. Now, I don't know if it's just me being more involved in this, but I feel like I've seen more stuff done in the last 6 months than I've seen in a long time here in the city, and you guys are a large part of that. So kind of just touch on that the stuff that's getting done right now in Richmond.
I tell you, it's been a real treat for me as a city manager, spending a lot of time in state government and the private sector, but coming into local government. I've been here a little over a year and a half now, and what I love about this mayor and this commission is they sat down and they laid out priorities right out of the gate. And then they instructed me to go back and work with our financial director to prepare a budget, present the budget with those priorities in mind. We tweaked the budget accordingly, and they turned us loose on it. And they hold me accountable for getting those things done. And it's the most continuity I've seen in any government experience I've been in. And I think it goes a long way to show that the mayor and these commissioners do have a vision for the future of Richmond. And if you talk about the things that have gotten done, in this first year and what's going to get done in the second year, I think it's proof.
Well, before we talk about that stuff, let's take a commercial break. We'll
Okay.
come back and then we'll kind of get into stuff that's gotten done here with this commission. We'll take a commercial break and come right back on the Richmond Review here at live at City Hall.
You guys.
Marissa, WBON TV has teamed up with the City Commissioners of Richmond to start what we are going to be calling Richmond Review.
That's right, Michael. You guys stay tuned for twice a month right here at WBON TV Studios. We'll have all the commissioners right here to talk some hot topics from around Richmond.
We are starting this program known as Richmond Review to help inform the citizens about what's going on around Richmond.
The purpose of the show is to help the citizens stay up to date on new projects, upcoming events, new legislation, and other things going on in our city.
The show will air live on WBON twice a month on Thursdays at 12 o'clock, and we welcome feedback from the citizens of Richmond, along with questions related to the topics we will discuss during the show.
Along with the Richmond Review Show, all of us welcome you to our City Commission meetings during the month as well. Just download the My Richmond app to stay up to date. Thank you.
Make sure to like WBON TV on Facebook to see the live show.
For WBON TV, I'm Marissa Hempel.
And I'm Michael Watkins. Watch the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live each Monday from 6 to 7 on WBONTV.com.
That's right, Michael. You can hang out with us each week either at Jack Burford Chevrolet or at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Richmond Center. You can take part in the law office of Patrick O'Neill Facebook poll and share your thoughts and opinions with us each week, and we can talk about all your local sports.
Samantha, the numbers don't lie. We love showcasing the local athletes and coaches in our community and appreciate all of our great sponsors. For the best local sports coverage around, join us each Monday on WBON TV for the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Coaches in our community. Back on Richmond Review here at the City Hall. First time we've been here, Marissa, it's kind of not, or first time I've been here doing the show at least. I've been here to use the bathroom during the Christmas parade, but never doing a live show. So.
Okay, well, I've actually been here for interviews, you know.
Well, you're a little more important than I am.
Thank you. That's
You're
actually
probably,
a nice comment.
well, I mean, you're probably the most important person in the room.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, okay. Besides Austin.
Well, Austin's pretty important too, as far as getting us on the air. But Rob, so we were talking about some of the stuff that's going on here with this commission, some of the stuff that they've been doing, and a lot of stuff has been getting done. And I know I saw yesterday we did a video with the First Watch, I think is what it's called, the new restaurant coming in. So again, that's just another thing that's coming into the city of Richmond.
You know, we issued 425 new business licenses last year, which is just phenomenal. And I'm convinced that Richmond's poised to really be one of the fastest growing cities in Kentucky. And not only that, our industrial park is thriving. We've had a third plant open with Asahi Forge, which is 80 new jobs, a $40 million investment, $30 million in revenue once it's up and running. So there's a lot of things. We're making City Hall more user-friendly to new businesses, and that's something this group accomplished right out of the gate. We consolidated some departments and made it easier to come to City Hall to do business. So that was a good sign for us.
I was going to ask, sorry, I always jump in on you. How's the app doing? Because I know we hadn't talked about that in a few episodes. Is there any updates on that?
We've got 722 devices registered as of this morning, and people are starting to get more comfortable with using it. So it's a My Richmond, Kentucky app. You can get it in the Google Store or Google Play, I think it is, or Apple iTunes Store. It's free. Download it on your phone. If you see a street light, pothole, sidewalk, take a picture, send it to us, and we'll get it fixed as fast as possible. It also allows us to put out push notifications if there's an emergency or something to the people that are subscribed. So, you know, that was one of the things we got done last year as well. There's a long list of them.
I've used it a couple times.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
You know, I want to kind of go back to what Rob was talking about with this commission. When we first came on and we campaigned, we all did our very own way of campaigning, but we came together rather quickly, and we accomplished a lot, but we decided that as commissioners that we would make sure that this was a city manager form of government. We would give that opportunity for our city manager to lead, and I think not just to say for all of us, but it is all of us. We accomplished a lot because we worked together.
Yeah.
And we didn't do this dividing and things that we've, been accustomed to. We came together as a group, and we wanted to open it up for you all to interview us. We wanted all of our opportunities to be out there so that people would see how our government works.
Well, I think that's what I've noticed the most is y'all have a lot of fun when you're together too. It's not just work. I mean, you all are able to kind of just hang out and talk about the important stuff, but you can also put a little fun spill on it, if you will, and make it seem like it's not so serious, even though it is serious stuff that you guys are dealing with. I've got a comment, and this is very important to me, and I've talked to you guys about it, I feel like 4 or 5 times. Josh Jones is asking about the traffic light at Great House and the bypass, the intersection at Honda and Hyundai. I live there, so and I've talked to you guys about it.
We did a full story. I think I
Yes,
interviewed Mike about it like a year ago.
We've talked about it several times. So, and you guys were out there, you talked about it, but it's not in your all's hands anymore. So kind of give us an update as to what the issue is there.
The state keeps saying no.
So.
We requested to District 7 with the Kentucky State Transportation Cabinet to put a light in there. They said they were doing a safety feasibility study from 4 Mile Road to Highway 52. And we even have a developer out there that approached us and said, hey, if you guys would pay half to put the traffic signal in, we'll pay half. And so we passed a resolution. Had a resolution done to show our support, sent that to the state level. They'll be at our February workshop to present the solutions they have for this. It doesn't include a traffic signal. It's a new design they call J-turns. I'm not real familiar with it, so stay tuned.
Dangerous.
I know, that's what I thought too.
Like
so.
Roundabouts and J-turns, I'm like,
No.
no.
So we're going to get a presentation at the workshop in February from the Transportation Cabinet on what their solution might be. But I'm like you, I think it needs a traffic signal.
Yeah, there was another
dangerous.
accident there this morning.
Yeah.
So I mean, it seemed like at least once a month there's something that happens there at the intersection right there when you're pulling out of our neighborhood to turn left, or even people turning into the neighborhood. And I've actually witnessed one from somebody going from like Miller Tire is across the street, and it's just like it's almost you can't help it. There's so much traffic and so much ongoing or ingoing. It's kind of hard to control. So a traffic light, I feel like, is the only option that would be able to kind of stop the issue.
So you're saying a hard no as of now?
That's what the state's telling us. It is a state highway, so like I said, they'll attend our February work session and present what their solution is, and we pretty much have to follow their lead on that.
Is there anything that the people in the neighborhoods could do, or the businesses even, that they could do to?
Well, I think the businesses and the people in the neighborhood have done what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
They have reached out to these commissioners and myself, and we have taken it to the next level with the developer and passing a resolution and showed our strong support and even paying for it. So I think we've done everything we can. And
we suggested that we would pay for the lot, and that's still.
So stay tuned, I guess. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get to figure out how to use J-turns, Marissa.
Please give me
That's interesting.
a tutorial.
We have to do a story on that, Marissa.
Yeah, okay, it's on my radar.
But talk about some of the other stuff that's been going on. I know the millstone thing, you all were just talking about that, the divisions that are going in, or the districts that are going in with that. So if you want
Well, of course, we have our new pocket park, Millstone Park, which Speedy Denny, he's our man, and he's really started this spirit across town where people want to get engaged, which is wonderful. But we've kind of springboarded from that into a Millstone Festival that will be this October. We'll close down Main Street from 3rd Street all the way to Collins, along with 2nd and 1st by the courthouse. Live entertainment, food court, beer garden, vendors. It's going to be great, and the ideas just keep coming. I found out this morning that I spoke to them last week. Rotary is going to do a chili cook-off.
Okay.
And they've done it for years at the Richmond Center, and it went away, so they're bringing that back, which is a wonderful thing. And we want to make a district downtown that it's kind of like a historical district, but it includes where the 2 mills downtown were located. So we're designating boundaries for a mill district. Tyler Johnson and myself presented that to the commission Tuesday. In 2 days, we've had, I'd say, a dozen businesses reach out to us that say, hey, we want to be included inside those boundaries. So I think it's just another piece of the part
that's
of
on
downtown.
both sides of-
Yeah, on
of
both
Main
sides
Street,
of it.
so-
So we're going to tweak the boundaries to try to include everybody that wants to be included in it. And it's just another piece of our downtown revitalization.
Ed, so we've got Mike doing the dunk contest with the All-A Classic. Is there anyone we can maybe get him on stage at the Millstone Festival? Is that possible? Or?
I've got one for him. He's going to start cheering at the All-A
So
Classic.
you're going to be dunking, he's going to be cheering. I like that. I can see that. Yeah.
You know
As
what?
long-
I don't want the ticket anymore.
As long as he's not wearing a cheerleading outfit.
Well, that's what I was picturing. No offense, Ed.
If I dunk, he cheers.
Well, that's good. See, that's what you guys should be doing, though, even across the table, working together. You know, that's a metaphor, right?
I'd probably have to cheer for that too.
Yeah, there
Listen,
you
if
go.
you have lunch with these two guys, it's like 80% talking and 20% eating. Your food gets cold by the time you get to talking.
If they're
so.
paying, I don't care. I'll go.
You missed the last one.
I did. I know that was my bad.
I uninvited her
Okay.
before I left. So
right.
me and Ed, we got to talking, and we can't talk about her if she's there. That's just kind of how that goes. But so that's a big thing coming up. Is there anything in the next month or two that's coming up that we should be letting the people know about? Valentine's Day. I don't know if there's anything downtown that'll be going on with it, or
Yeah, the senior citizens are having their sweetheart
Yeah.
chili lunch.
Yeah.
okay.
That's coming up at our new Active Living Center, which
Okay,
again,
because it used to be at the bank, because I've covered that before.
that was a priority for this commission.
That's
They
right.
sat down and said, we need to take better care of our seniors, and they turned us loose on it. And if you've had a chance to visit that facility, it's state of the art, and it's probably one of the best in the state.
Well, one thing that I've noticed is it seems like whether it be Ed or Mike or Jacob or Jason, they all have different ideas, and then when they bring those ideas up, that each guy that's on the commission supports each other. I think that's one of the biggest reasons that stuff that we've seen get done has gotten done.
Absolutely. It's a treat.
Yeah, that was one of the main things we focused on last year was working together, and as a result, we've been steamrolling
Yeah.
to a point now, like we've talked about before. Without a piece of paper in front of us, none of us could sit down and name off everything that we got accomplished last year because there was just that much, and that's what you want, and that's what we want for 2020. Is we want to keep that progress moving forward and keep Richmond moving in a positive direction.
Do we have any idea or maybe something that's on the back burner right now that's going to be happening in the next year?
I'm trying to get Amazon to come in here.
Okay.
Well, we have talked about sidewalks,
Okay.
which we've done some work on sidewalks, but we're just putting the pieces together to see where we're at and trying to develop a safe environment walking on Barnes Mill, coming through. But
Yeah.
it's up to the city manager really to kind of figure out and lay out the plan for that. Jason brought up which we've talked about on numerous occasions, a bike trail, and Commissioner McDaniels has brought up on many occasions, which I support him on this, is finding a way for our students at EKU to get across the bypass and go to Walmart that can't drive, that they walk.
Yeah.
And then come back. And he's been a champion of that. And if you really truly think of how important that would be to business and to EKU, not to mention the safety of the students,
Yeah.
we need to really look close at that.
Well, I think, when you look at the changes that the campus has made over the last few years, like right now, that new rec center that's on campus, I don't know if you all have seen it or not. I went up there and played basketball in it. I mean, it is a absolutely amazing facility. And I feel like what the campus has done is they've tried to, cater to the city a little bit as well. I think they're going to make it available for people that have
I think
that-
so.
that's
Alumni,
community members,
I
so-
heard that.
I know they've
Okay,
done a lot.
I'm here for that one.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be something that that can be used by the city and by the community as well. So in that part, EKU's trying to tie in with what we're doing. And, I've talked to Matt Rohn, the new athletic director. He wants to be a part of he wants to be involved in the city, as well as the new head football coach, Walt Wells. And I think in order to have a successful college here in the city, we have to kind of partner up together. And I think we are seeing that these new coaches and new people getting involved in the university are very interested in doing that and trying to make EKU and the city of Richmond a very good partnership.
Yeah,
so
it has to be that way. There's no doubt about it. We've got an all-inclusive park that'll open up late April, early May in Lake Reba, and that's a big deal because it's a park that engages special needs children with regular children. So we're going to be excited about getting that opened up. And of course, they'll finish up Water Street in April as well, which they'll put the final layer of asphalt on it and add some trench drains. And I think I've got Speedy Denny on the hook to add some millstones down Water Street. So it's been fun to see how the community has reacted to this mayor and commission. And it's almost like it's a catching momentum or fever that they want to be part of now. I'm going to say that we don't always agree on things, but we're all mature enough to talk through them and figure out what direction we do want to go. And I'm proud to be part of this group.
Well, I think that's what makes it so successful is that, first of all, you're not afraid to bring something up, but then you're also afraid to not share your opinion about it. You don't sit back. All these guys have their own opinion, and they all have different personalities as well. And I think that's one reason why they're so successful is because you've got some outspoken guys, you've got some quieter guys. I don't know which two are the outspoken ones, but
you know what? It depends on the day, from my experience.
That's true. Well, who they're around, maybe. But no, I will say that with these two guys, they can get along with anybody. But I think again that's why this commission has been so successful is just the different personalities and the different characteristics that go into each person that's on the commission and the mayor as well, because I feel like you have a pretty good relationship with Mayor Blythe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think you've been talking to Mayor Blythe about some stuff as well, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard back from him though.
He's
a busy man, Marissa.
Yeah, I know. I give him credit because this obviously stays attached to my hands. So when someone's not always on their phone, but yeah, there's an event going on at the Rack this Saturday that hopefully WBON TV will be a part of. That he's participating in. So.
Well, let's take one more commercial break. We'll come back and wrap up this episode of the Richmond Review live at City Hall. We are live on WBONTV.com. Marissa, WBON TV has teamed up with the City Commissioners of Richmond to start what we are going to be calling Richmond Review.
That's right, Michael. You guys stay tuned for twice a month right here at WBON TV Studios. We'll have all the commissioners right here to talk some hot topics from around Richmond.
We are starting this program known as Richmond Review to help inform the citizens about what's going on around Richmond.
The purpose of the show is to help the citizens stay up to date on new projects, upcoming events, new legislation, and other things going on in our city.
The show will air live on WBON twice a month on Thursdays at 12 o'clock, and we welcome feedback from the citizens of Richmond, along with questions related to the topics we will discuss during the show.
Along with the Richmond Review Show, all of us welcome you to our City Commission meetings during the month as well. Just download the My Richmond app to stay up to date. Thank you.
Make sure to like WBON TV on Facebook to see the live show.
For WBON TV, I'm Marissa Hempel.
And I'm Michael Watkins. Watch the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live each Monday from 6 to 7 on WBONTV.com.
That's right, Michael. You can hang out with us each week either at Jack Burford Chevrolet or at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Richmond Center. You can take part in the law office of Patrick O'Neill Facebook poll and share your thoughts and opinions with us each week, and we can talk about all your local sports.
Samantha, the numbers don't lie. We love showcasing the local athletes and coaches in our community and appreciate all of our great sponsors. For the best local sports coverage around, join us each Monday on WBON TV for the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Live at City Hall, back with Richmond Review. Michael Watkins here with Ed McDaniel and Mike Brewer, City Commissioners. Marissa Hempel along with myself here with WBON TV and City Manager Rob Miner. So let's talk some more about some more stuff going on with the city and some of the stuff that has gotten done here in the last little bit. We only got about 5 minutes left, but it seems like you all have always got something going on. whether it be new events coming up or making some changes with older buildings and kind of revitalizing those. So kind of just give us an update on some other stuff that is going on right now.
Well, you don't want to give Jason too much time to think, so we got to keep moving forward.
Or Jacob.
Or Jacob.
They're not here to defend themselves, okay?
Yeah, that's why we're doing it now.
Yeah.
That's real nice, guys.
But I will say this too, we are a working group. I mean, set aside, we were elected to do a job, and that's what we're doing. And not to push buttons or to change the way people think about city government, but we have set a precedence here that we're going to accomplish everything we can for the good of Richmond and for the people that live here and visit here, and that's what we're about.
Oh yeah, it's really been a privilege to work with this group. Jason, Jacob, Mike, Rob, and the rest of the staff here at City Hall. They're great people, and they all have the same vision.
One thing that we've talked about when we've had lunch, and I don't think we've touched on it on the show, is the restaurant tax. And I know it's not something that we might get changed in the next year or so, but give us an idea as to what that is and why some places have it and Richmond does not.
Well, Berea does, and that's always a cause of contention. So what is the differentiating factor for those that don't know?
Back when, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, back when they classed cities, Richmond was a Class 2 city, along with Louisville. And one of the things that you could not do as a Class 2 city is charge a restaurant tax. Now, they don't class cities anymore.
Right.
But they never lifted that ban on the restaurant tax. So it's really, I mean, when you've got cities like Lexington, Georgetown, Berea, Mount Vernon, London, Somerset, all these cities around Richmond that are able to charge this tax, it really puts us at a disadvantage,
We have to be creative.
We have to be creative with how we keep up with these other cities.
And it would create how much more money per year?
Close to $3 million is last I heard. And let me give you an example of how it could work. Really, 75% of it would have to go back to infrastructure that would support the city in tourism or events or what have you. 25% could go to tourism, and right now we're busting at the seams at Lake Reba for soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking for property that's flat within city limits, which is very hard.
Yeah, like, please tell me where this property
But
is.
we've got some prospects, but we really need a state-of-the-art, multi-purpose, outdoor sport
Venue.
complex.
Yeah.
For
Could that be
probably
something
softball.
you could work with EKU with, maybe?
Well, we are working with EKU.
Yes.
We've got, they've offered to partner with us on some property they have, so, it's early in the talks with that. But we could use that restaurant tax to go towards stuff like that would bring more people to town to visit our restaurants and hotels and such. Now, it has to be passed on the state level for us even to be able to put it to vote on the local level. So I don't know if it'll gain much traction or not. We'll survive one way or the other with or without it. But it does seem to put us at a disadvantage against communities that do have it.
And people may not realize that they actually do pay that everywhere else you go eat it. I mean, you go to Lexington, you go to Irvin, you go to Somerset, you are paying the restaurant tax. But here in Richmond,
you're right, Mike, and they're building restaurants, new ones every day in those communities. It's not hurting them.
Yeah.
What is it 3%? Is that what it would be?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, and we always try to talk about some stuff that that's interesting. And I thought that was something that we needed to bring up, and just to kind of show you what Richmond would be able to do with something like that. I mean, it would, again, another $3 million in revenue for the city. So
yeah, and anytime you start talking about taxes, especially in Madison County right now, it becomes controversial. So I don't want to misconstrue that. I don't want to misconstrue that we're headed down that road because we can do without it.
Yeah.
We're financially stable.
Definitely an
and don't need it,
incendiary
so.
topic.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's been a fun show, gentlemen, and glad to have you all along with us. The Richmond Review is now once a month. We'll be talking to these guys once a month about everything going on in the city, new updates, new ideas. And if you have any questions, you can always comment during the show. If you have any comments, feel free to do that. as long as you don't ask Mike to take his shirt off or do any dunk contests or anything like that.
No.
But kind of just give the folks again some details if they want to come to the meetings or if they want to be involved somehow with the city. Where can they do that? How can they get involved?
Our televised meetings are the second and fourth Tuesdays at 6 o'clock here in the chambers, and then our work sessions are the third Tuesday at 9:30. And I tell people, call me because I don't take it personal. It's my job. You guys are my eyes and ears out there. I want to hear what's good, what's bad, if you have some suggestions or criticisms. And again, I'll go back to this group right here. We have open communication between all 5 of us, 6 of us. And when citizens need something, we try to react pretty quick.
There you go. Well, thank you all for hanging out with us on another episode of the Richmond Review. From Marissa Hempel and myself, Michael Watkins, we will see you next time from all of us here at WBONTV.com. Marissa, WBON-TV has teamed up with the City Commissioners of Richmond to start what we are going to be calling Richmond Review.
That's right, Michael. You guys stay tuned for twice a month right here at WBON-TV Studios. We'll have all the commissioners right here to talk some hot topics from around Richmond.
We are starting this program known as Richmond Review to help inform the citizens about what's going on around Richmond.
The purpose of the show is to help the citizens stay up to date on new projects, upcoming events, new legislation, and other things going on in our city.
The show will air live on WBON twice a month on Thursdays at 12 o'clock, and we welcome feedback from the citizens of Richmond, along with questions related to the topics we will discuss during the show.
Along with the Richmond Review Show, all of us welcome you to our City Commission meetings during the month as well. Just download the My Richmond app to stay up to date. Thank you.
Make sure to like WBON TV on Facebook to see the live show.
For WBON TV, I'm Marissa Hempel.
And I'm Michael Watkins. Watch the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live each Monday from 6 to 7 on WBONTV.com.
That's right, Michael. You can hang out with us each week either at Jack Burford Chevrolet or at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Richmond Center. You can take part in the law office of Patrick O'Neill Facebook poll and share your thoughts and opinions with us each week, and we can talk about all your local sports.
Samantha, the numbers don't lie. We love showcasing the local athletes and coaches in our community and appreciate all of our great sponsors. For the best local sports coverage around, join us each Monday on WBON TV for the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.